Hey y'all, my name is Wooyoung Jang, and I'm a senior at Texas Tech University.
안녕하세요. 제 이름은 장우영입니다.
Yes, you guys heard me right. I said y'all and spoke Korean. You know, I'm a product of two cultures, Korea and America. And today, I want to tell you guys my story. Growing up, my family and I would take a vacation every single summer. I remember my first grade year, we went to Saipan, where we walked on the beach and drank from the coconuts. And in my second grade year, we went to China, where we saw the Great Wall and explored the streets of Beijing. And in my third grade year, we decided to go to America. Now, this trip was unlike any of my previous ones in that I was attending a YMCA summer camp. And I was disappointed initially because for a kid who grew up in Korea, summer camps were not meant to be fun. No, they meant math tutors, English lessons, and piano workshops. And it wasn't until after my first day that I realized America was different. I was playing soccer, I was playing basketball, and even though there was a language barrier between me and the other kids, I was communicating through my smile and my excitement. In short, I was having the best time of my life. And I guess my mom saw that joy in me because towards the end of our trip, she came up to me and said, "Wooyoung, do you want to go tour a nearby school?" I said, "Sure." When I got to the school though, I was confused because these people were asking me questions like, "How old are you? What do you want to do when you grow up?" And I thought, aren't I the one that's supposed to be asking the questions? I mean, this isn't a tour after all. Well, it turned out it was a tour, but it was also an interview. And towards the end of our visit, the principal came up to me and my family and told us that he would love to have us back for the beginning of the school year. Back home in Korea, my family and I had long conversations. We weighed out the pros and the cons of me going to America. And for me, America meant leaving behind my friends and most importantly, leaving behind my mom, who would be unable to come because of her work. But for my mom, it meant letting go of her only child, her source of joy and happiness. I remember growing up, my mom, she would always say to me, "Wooyoung, you are my endorphin." And to those who are unfamiliar, endorphin is a chemical substance that is released in your brain. It boosts pleasure, reduces pain, and promotes an overall sense of well-being. So me going to America meant that her endorphin, her source of joy and pleasure, was being taken away. But in the end, we decided that I would take this leap, and I would take this opportunity and go to America. My first year in America actually went very smoothly. You know, I wasn't particularly good at grammar or spelling, but at least I was good at math. But after my first year, my family and I were faced with another difficult decision when my dad's visa expired. So I had a choice between going back home to Korea or staying in America with my third grade teacher, who graciously offered me her home. From my mom's perspective, it was one thing to entrust me with my dad. But it's a whole other thing leaving your only child with a foreign family 5,000 miles away. But in the end, my mom, she put my interests first, as always. And I decided that I would stay. Sometimes I think about the heartbreak that I must have caused her when I chose America for her. If I could go back in time, I would tell my mom every single day, Mom, thank you. Mom, I love you. You know, my mom and I, we would Skype each other every single night, and she would always answer with the biggest smile on her face and say, Wooyoung, how was your day? What did you have for dinner? My mom, she never let me see her sadness or her loneliness. And it wasn't that I was oblivious. It was that she never let me see any of it. For her, this was her pain. This was her burden to carry, and hers only. My mom, she is an extraordinary woman. She is kind, she is passionate, and she is successful. She is a professor who teaches Korean Sign Language to the deaf and the hard of hearing. My mom, she's a superwoman. But sometimes, superwoman gets sad too. I remember when I entered high school, my mom and I were having our nightly Skype calls. And she asked me, as she always does, Wooyoung, how are you doing? But this time, I looked at her and I said, I'm doing okay. But how are you doing? And she gave me one of her gentle smiles and said, I'm doing okay. I get sad too sometimes. But we'll have that conversation when you're older, over some beers. Guys, we all have giants in our lives that hold us up. The ones who keep us going when we're exhausted. The ones who catch us when we're about to fall. But these giants, they can be little people too. Like my mom, who was only 5'3". And during these times, we must be their giants. And all it takes are sincere words of gratitude and love. So Mom, thank you. 엄마, 감사합니다. So Mom, I love you. 엄마, 사랑해요. I graduated from Texas Tech University, and I'm going on to the Texas Tech Health Sciences Center to obtain my medical degree. And none of this would have been possible without you. And I'm 22 years old now, so let's go grab that beer together.